What's up, visionaries?
It's Mel.
And it's Greg. And M.A.G. Visits is back today bringing y'all another video. Now, today's video that we got is by Actually Happened.
Yes.
This one is called I Saved My Father's Life or Not.
Yeah, and we've done other ones by Actually Happened, so it could be a funny story or it could be a real serious story. Because they've caught us a couple times with the, off guard, like, oh shoot, this is really a serious story. So, I don't know, they're interesting.
Yeah, so, without further talking, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Make sure you leave a like on the video.
Let's
make sure you leave your comments down below.
Down there.
Let's go and get to the video.
Hi, I'm Jane, and my story is pretty crazy because of one peculiar thing about my dad. It's hard to explain, but basically, my dad really wanted me to be an independent person. He always thought that the world was a scary place, so he felt obligated to prepare me for anything that could happen to me in my adult life. It all started with our mom dying when I was very young. At first, he taught me very useful things like cooking. By the age of 10, I was already very good at it. I was even able to prepare fairly complex dishes. By the age of 15, I knew how to chop wood, what the best course of action was in case I had to be a defendant in court, and which medicine was required for almost any type of emergency. I don't know if you can call something like this overprotective, because it's kind of the opposite. Well, anyway, one thing I really didn't want to learn was how to drive. I knew that I would need it at some time in my life, but it was very stressful for me. I was horrible at driving because I was too nervous. Being horrible made me even more nervous. And then I had to learn all those rules. Ugh. But of course, my dad insisted that it was very important that I learn to drive in case of an emergency. Sometimes my dad took me on camping trips. I loved them when I was a kid. Going to the forest and learning all about it was always cool and exciting. But with school and driving lessons, I just wanted to relax a little on the weekends. But no, my dad still insisted on taking me to the forest to learn something about mushrooms or berries or snakes. So we went to the forest again with our car. This time, my dad took away my phone, saying that I probably wouldn't have my phone if I got lost in the forest, so I shouldn't rely on it. Besides being incredibly annoying, sometimes I thought my dad was crazy. We finally arrived to the forest and parked somewhere pretty far in. My dad started his usual lectures about surviving in nature, remembering names of trees and stuff. I still enjoyed it, but I also wanted to sleep so badly. So I mostly ignored what he was saying and just nodded a lot, pretending that I was listening attentively. Then, suddenly, my dad started to hold his heart. "Oof," he said. "Jane, I don't feel so good." I was confused, but then my dad started walking toward our car. "Let's go home, Jane." Now I was starting to worry. My dad worked out regularly, so he was in tip-top shape. What was happening? My dad sat in the passenger seat and said, "Jane, quick, I need an ambulance." I was panicking. I reached for my phone when I remembered, Dad took it away. So I was like, "What do I do, Dad? What do I do?"
Drive the car.
His eyes were closed by this point, and he simply said, "Drive." I was
That's
like,
what you do, baby.
No. I hated driving, and I wasn't
good
at it. My dad's car was much bigger than the one used by my driving instructor, but I didn't have any other choice.
You gotta do it.
So I sat in the driver's seat, tried all the pedals and checked everything, and in a very nervous state, tried to start the car. Once, twice, and then it finally worked on the third time. But I was always bad with starting to move. So I let go of the clutch pedal very softly, started to press the gas pedal at the same time, and the car stalled. So I started everything again. My whole body was trembling, and I was failing again and again. My heart was racing, and I knew if I kept failing, my dad would die. He was already unconscious, so I had to succeed. And finally, I did it. I started moving, but it was very hard to move correctly on a dirt road. It was bumpy and narrow, so I couldn't gain a lot of speed, and my father was groaning more and more, so I had to keep going despite my panic. I also had to remember the way to the city because, of course, the forest was huge and also had a few roads. I kept going despite wanting to just stop and cry. And finally, I did it. I reached the paved road, clumsily stopped the car, and tried to wave down anyone who was passing by to stop so they would let me call an ambulance. But nobody was stopping. Besides, there weren't that many cars around, so I thought that I had to drive my dad to the city. And then I heard a voice from the passenger seat. and that's why you should learn to drive properly. My dad was all right, smiling like nothing happened.
I'm going to mess him up.
All of it to teach me a lesson. He was so proud of it too, like he was a genius. I didn't think so. I completely lost my temper and shouted at him, saying, "You are acting like a child. Take me home and I will never go with you anywhere again." Our ride home was silent, and I couldn't say whether my dad was sorry or angry. He did stop messing with me after that. In fact, we almost stopped interacting. He basically left me alone. But what kind of reaction did he want from me? Well, even though his actions were unbelievably stupid, he did it because he wanted to protect me and teach me a lesson.
But not like that.
Well, at least now it turned into a funny story. So I had to forgive him. My dad is weird, but I love him.
Yeah.
He still does his lessons, although he promised that he wouldn't do something like that.
Don't ever do that again.
And, well, I think all people that we love are weird in one way or another, right?
Yes.
Are your parents kind of weird sometimes? Tell your story in the comments.
I'm a weird parent.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay.
So it wasn't what you thought it was. Like, he basically tested her, but the way he tested her was like, why would you go to the extreme to do it like that?
Okay, but what if she also had a real heart attack because she thought her father was having a heart attack? Or a panic attack. I've had a panic attack before. So I understand the lesson. Do I think he took it just a little bit too far?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, he took it like far.
And it's so beautiful that she talked to him again because he was literally not trying to harm her. He was trying to teach her a lesson. But Dad, next time
he sat there and he watched her cry and everything.
She said from the passenger side, she heard, "And that's why you learn to drive properly."
Oh my goodness.
Dad.
Oh my goodness.
Get out that car because we about to go inside.
Like, it would have been a problem.
I'm like, Dad, I understand the concept of what he was trying to do. I feel there's another way he could have taught her that lesson without almost making her have a heart attack. But it was a good story. It was just, I think he could have went about it a different way. My own opinion. Tell us what you guys think.
Right. Let us know in the comment section below what's the extremes that you went through to teach
your child a lesson. And do you think that this father went too far?
Yeah, but thank y'all for joining us for this video.
Thank you guys.
Remember, like and subscribe and leave your comments down below.
And see you next time.
We out.